Hi everybody, and welcome to this tutorial where I want to talk to you about making a portrait studies book for yourself and for your own study. This is very important, so what you need is a book about A3 with those rings. That's very important because we are going to put in, and this is a scribble pad, as you can see, very cheap indeed, 200 sheets for only 70 cents, so you can make brief studies of what I'm going to demonstrate you right now. This is my book as it's going to be. Now this is the study we did earlier on YouTube, of course. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Then we went on to drawing two eyes and make them the same. So that was very important too. But at some point you will come to that where you want to start drawing likeness, and all from freehand. Now I was starting with this famous singer, of course, an actor, Elvis Presley, king of rock, and I was figuring out how to get likeness into my portrait drawing, and I had a hard time, but I found it very, very helpful indeed to start drawing in helper lines, like in the corner of the mouth. You can draw a line, and in this case you can see as you draw in here the line through the pupils, then you see that that's in an angle here. There is some kind of perspective going on. So, and here's your center line. So this here comes the skull out, and then it goes over, and then here over the lips, over the chin. So to get that feel of what's the distance here and here. But you do not want to put too much pressure on yourself. So what you want to do, what I did anyways, is I started printing pictures out from Pixabay, ripping them out of newspapers or from glossy magazines, portraits that say something to me and that were appealing to me. Then what I do is get those lines in and put them then in those little scribbly pad, making just tiny direction of lines to train myself, to learn myself. Then put in all kinds of sheets, draw in all my exercises, and once I've done enough of them, then I will draw this as big as I can with preferably black, but also white or color pencils or whatever I want. And that's also why I've chosen a gray paper, a gray drawing with that rings, of course, so I can put in a lot of extra sheets, and I can draw with white, of course, to get as much as perspective as I can, and dark and light. So let me show you more. Here I was already starting with this magnificent girl. This is the way she's looking, so that's going that way, and this is only 1 centimeter compared to, this is about where the skull is, 6 centimeters, so that's a big angle here. And you can see the line over the profile, and I simply made a very quick charcoal impression of this, getting that angle in where she's looking at, getting that profile line in, and in that way also like how the hair is going also that way. So it was such a nice thing. So I want to make at least 5 studies before I make my big end results. Then what I also gave myself as a job is to study the elderly people with all the wrinkles. And here you can I'm already drawn in all kinds of lines to help me. Glasses. A lot of people have glasses on, and those can be sunglasses with reflection in them. But look at this. There's a big perspective angle here. Look at that. This distance compared to this one. So all kinds of things to trigger my mind and to become aware of what I'm seeing. This, I think, is also a very nice idea. Make one drawing with a very nice little baby. This one is so cute. Look at it. And look at that. Here is a lot of shadow going on. So I want to start focusing on that too. The older lady has the shadow right here underneath that bones here. So I love that. I just put them together and try and see what I can make out of this. This is more of a glossy model, but I thought there's absolutely no wrinkles at all on this face. They've blurred that out, I think. But what I can see is a lot of high and deep and low and shadows going on. So I'm going to study that one too. This one came out of the newspaper. It's a soccer player. And look at those eyes. He was, well, tilting the eyes, I think it's called. They go looking out that way. So I need to study that too, how the eyeballs and the irises behave themselves. So I need to make a lot of studies too and look at the pupil line here. And then the corners of the mouth here. Look at that difference. That's a huge difference here. So making yourself aware, maybe draw some hair, always good to do. This head, of course, is not straight, but it's slightly angled. Here I want to study the outer lines, maybe how to draw a short beard. Well, I've measured out a little bit. For instance, this distance is a bit farther away than this part. So the camera angle is from below. This is a poet, I think. I had that from the newspaper. And I already started here with study number 1 when I was drawing those lines in here. A very quick sketch. It doesn't have to be a look-alike. Just get in the angles right. Then I started drawing the eyes. How are the eyes looking at us? And I made them a bit too broad, so I brought it back and I thought, well, let's continue. And then I thought, how is that neck coming out of that beautiful suit? You can see it here. So I want to get this right and maybe get in some of the cloth structure and so on. So I'm not sure where it will lead me, but it will lead me somewhere, of course. These are just amazing studies to do. Here I can make a bigger study with the glasses and the way that he looks through the glasses. I want to do that too. Also drawing glasses from the side. That's awesome. This one is straight and has a big, thick foot here of the glasses, and this one is not existent. So this will make me aware of how the foot of that glass would go. So I think that's very nice. Oh, and yes, of course, the Rembrandt style. Light versus dark. Now there's a big difference, of course. As you can see, very light against a very dark. So that's very, very good to study. I'm gonna do that. And oh yeah, there they are. Teeth. Teeth are horrible to draw. So on this page I will put and glue in all kinds of mouths. Half open, wide open, grinning, screaming, I don't know. I want to try and draw as many mouths as possible because they are so very hard, and well, I have to tackle that, don't I? I just have to order myself to do it. Then what I also want to focus on is how the skinny person is drawn against the somewhat more thicker person, and how the skin behaves. So that will be an awesome study too. I like her. Here I was already drawing. Only one study, but I'm already putting in the lines and how where the irises are in comparison with the corners of the mouth. Very nice. I can do some hair study, how to draw a hat on top of a skull, those kinds of things. So another nice study. This one I like too. This hat is going down while the eyes are going up, compared with this hat, which is going up and the eyes are going down. So that's a very interesting study for me. Can't wait to start. This one I want to be doing next week with you. This is really straightforward, and I'm going to measure out with you everything. See how this part is smaller than that part. So she's a very young girl. This is way down here. She has big hair, so I have a lot to draw. And what I also want to show you is the difference between the obscure side and the bright side. Look at that difference. This is really dark and this is really light. So an excellent study to start. Very straightforward. The best way to start. It's much easier than the tracor. This is a tracor, small side, bigger side. So we will just start easy. Then of course also the elderly man, male model. I love it. I'm gonna make that a special study too. Oh yes, and of course I have to draw more self-portraits. And as I was gluing this in, well, I'll just use a little bit of tape. I already saw that I made a rather big mistake. As you can see here, the pupils go like so, and then when I was to draw a line, then I instantly saw that this eye is a little bit too high. Why, that's looking a bit crooked here. So I'm already learning from my own mistakes. And that is why I want to invite you and ask you to make a book like this and start making all kinds of studies. Then just don't try to make them look exactly the same. Just look for the main important lines and make as many studies as you can. I will keep you informed of the progress that I'm making, and I hope if I do this all year long and as many times as I can, that at the end of the year 2019 I will be a little bit better at drawing portraits. So that's what we're going to do. Next week we're going to draw together, and well, thank you for watching. Please try this out, and then I will see you again next Friday, of course. Take care. Bye bye.